Ladies and gentlemen, many countries are on lockdown right now around the world. And the UK, it looked like they have been banned from 40 different countries from traveling. People are in fear of that new mutated COVID that's out. So, this came out on NPR why the world is seeing some of the most extreme pandemic lockdowns. This is December 27th, 2020. And I'm going to play this audio for you.
The European Union began vaccinating people this weekend against COVID-19. It's an effort that spreads across its 27 member states. The massive vaccination campaign began over the weekend, and the timing is critical. Some member nations are seeing surges in cases. NPR's global health and development correspondent Jason Bobian joins us now. Hi, Jason.
Hi, Leila.
So this sounds like a massive undertaking. What can you tell us about the vaccine rollout?
Yeah, absolutely. Europe has been very hard hit by this pandemic. The Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine is the first one authorized in the EU, and that could actually have ripple effects beyond Europe because there are a lot of other countries outside of the continent, including also the WHO, that will accept authorization from the European medicines agencies in their own regulatory process. So having this start in Europe really means that these vaccination campaigns may be able to get going all over the world globally. It's really a great sign. There's still huge logistical challenges, but overall on the vaccine front, this is really good news. There's also bad news coming out of Europe, however, in that this new strain of the virus that researchers are calling the UK variant is being found not only inside the United Kingdom, but really all over the world now. It's significantly more infectious. So far, it has not been detected in the United States, but they found cases in Canada, Singapore, Japan, and many parts of Europe.
So this new variant sounds really concerning. What more do we know about it?
Well, the CDC says that it is 70% more transmissible, they believe. They also are saying they definitely need more research on it. And they're saying that at the moment, travel restrictions are one way to actually try to keep it from getting a foothold in places like the United States.
So a lot of world leaders are trying to stop that new variant from getting into their countries. What new travel bans, restrictions are we seeing?
What's kind of amazing is we're seeing right now sort of the most aggressive tightening of global travel restrictions at any time since the early months of the pandemic. You've got more than 40 countries have banned travelers from the UK. Japan just announced it's basically barring all foreigners at least until the end of January. Israel is going into a really tight lockdown. Some countries are also barring South Africans over another variant that's been found there. And starting today, travelers from the UK into the US, they're going to have to show proof of a negative COVID test within the last 74 hours before boarding their flights. So these new restrictions are being driven by the fears about this new strain of the virus.
Yeah. So what's the big picture here for the next weeks, months ahead?
It really depends whether you're sort of looking short term or long term. Clearly, the vaccine's getting out there and getting into people's arms. This is really good from the long term, right? But in the short term, concerns about these mutations, about these more possibly transmissible strains that could be spreading, border closures, all of that is showing that the pain and uncertainty of this pandemic really aren't going away in the short term. And over the weekend, Anthony Fauci, he was on CNN. He said, we're at this critical point right now. And he's quite concerned that people who've gotten together over the holidays, those people are going to drive more infections, and we're going to see a bigger spike in numbers.
As we get into the next few weeks, it might actually get worse.
Worse than where we are right now, which is at a very bad spot.
NPR's Jason Bobian, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it's going to get worse. You had millions and millions of people travel. And, I was hearing about, about 1 million people per day were going to the airport for over a week. So you're going to have a bad surge in the country. And I would not even be surprised, y'all, if in the surge you will see that new COVID mutant crop up. People in America, they're going to do what they want. They don't care what's going on. They're going to do what they want. And this is a big reason why You are never going to get this thing under control. Now, I'll have somebody come in my comment section. No, that's not why. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So, ladies and gentlemen, the global pandemic is exploding everywhere. A lot of places are seeing huge surge. And, you know, I know our people at the hospital are working the best that they can, but this is even too much for them to handle, y'all. You're talking about well over 200,000 cases a day in the US. And with this next surge, it's going to be more than that. And you heard what they said. It is going to get worse. It is going to get worse. So they are seeing this new strain of this COVID mutant. As you know, it is in a couple of different countries now. So it's in mainland Europe and different countries. It's in Israel, it's in Canada, and Japan so far. So this is what they're saying the variant is. Now, I think in Canada, I had reported 2 people. It's now up to 4. And, I'm sure it's going to be going well beyond that, especially if it's as contagious as they're saying. And they're saying there are similar concerns of the new strain being in South Africa. So who knows? Okay, so in response, Japan is banning nearly all foreigners. The declaration lists nationalists from 152 countries until February. And, and is imposing new restrictions on Japanese citizens returning from any country that's reported cases of the UK variant. The new Japanese rules are applied to places there from South African strain is circulating. So, so if they are Japanese and they've been to South Africa, because Asians are in Africa, I mean, let's face it, and they come back home, they have to be quarantined. A surge in new cases and concerns over a more highly transmittable form of the virus has prompted Israel to go into its 3rd lockdown on Sunday. So this past Sunday, they went into a 3rd lockdown. For at least the next 2 weeks, Israelis are prohibited from visiting someone else's home or traveling more than 1,000 meters from their own home, a little more than a half a mile. All non-essential businesses are shut. Restaurants can only offer takeout. Gatherings such as weddings and funerals in Israel will be limited to 10 people indoors, 20 outside. This is generous compared to Hong Kong, which has in place, so they prohibit group gatherings of more than 2 people. Wow. On Sunday in Hong Kong, foreign domestic workers traditionally have the day off. Groups of women from the Philippines and Indonesia gather in small groups in parks and on sidewalks all across the city. They often share soft drinks and snacks. Municipal officials are now calling for them to stay home at their employer's apartment. Hong Kong is also increasing quarantine requirements for incoming travelers, while some other places are shortening COVID quarantines from 14 days to 10 or 7. Hong Kong is now requiring a mandatory 21 days. Quarantine is at the traveler's own expense in a government sanctioned hotel. So if you go to Japan, you're going to have to be in a hotel and you're footing the bill. Thailand which has kept its daily tally of reported COVID-19 cases to single digits for much of the pandemic, is grappling with its worst surge to date. Since mid-December, the country has seen a sharp rise in cases linked originally to a seafood market, including 121 new infections on Sunday. The spike in cases in Thailand has not been tied to the UK variant. South Korea, which successfully contained two earlier COVID-19 waves, is facing record number of new cases and a spike in fatalities. The United States, which has already seen its largest number of cases globally and regular reports of more than 200,000 new infections a day, is also bracing for grim numbers ahead. Over the weekend, top officials warned that travel and family gatherings during the holiday season are likely to lead to further spikes in cases. As we get into the next few weeks, it might actually get worse. Anthony Fauci, the nation's top infectious disease expert, told CNN on Sunday. Even though the UK variant has not yet been detected in the US, it's here, y'all. It may not be detected, but it's here. Many top, infectious disease doctors believe it may already be circulating here. I believe it is too. I think it is prudent and a good idea to do some form of testing and not let somebody on a plane from the UK unless they have a documented negative test. Well, it's too late for that. First of all, the US don't have any ban on people from the UK flying here. And you can best believe those people, some of them came here. You can best believe they did. So you're kind of a day late and a buck short. If you were going to ban the UK, you should have done it as soon as you heard about this. And ladies and gentlemen, they knew about this mutated COVID back in September. They never said nothing until a little over a week ago. But they said this has been going on in the UK since September. Wow. And they said absolutely nothing. Do you know how many people from the UK probably traveled here from September all the way up until now? Given the high levels of transmission already occurring in the US, a more transmissible form of the virus could mean even more dire numbers, just as massive vaccine campaigns are starting. So, ladies and gentlemen, y'all tell me what you think. I think tougher times are ahead because America's not doing anything different. I think the only thing different now is the vaccine, and look at how many people are getting sick from the vaccine. Please tell me what you think, ladies and gentlemen. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.